So welcome back to the next part of the hack and slash tutorial series. In this video we're going to work on the crasher attack. So if we launch the enemy up, we can hit the heavy mouse button and the enemy will crash onto the ground. And as you can see, the enemy gets up almost perfectly, unlike the knockback. There's a bit of blend there, but it's alright. And we can, if the enemy dies in the air, he'll fall back to the ground. I don't think there's any issues so far from what I'm seeing. Everything seems to be functionally pretty well. Crash pretty much. Everything seems to be functional. We are working on fixing a little bit things here and there from all our old systems, like our launching system. When we set our movement modes, some of them don't get set early enough to the point where we can get the right animations, and so we're going to fix some of them today. This video and the last video is probably going to be one of our longest videos out of the series, as this is probably the most hardest mechanic to get down, the aerial combat. So hope you guys bear with me in this video, and if you guys want to pick up the project file to save yourself some of the pain, head over to my Patreon, join me there. If not, stay tuned because we got a lot of things to get done. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back. In the last video we worked on the aerial combat. So the enemy will do the hit reaction animations. The player can play the air attack sequence. Everything's working. Enemy can die, whatever. But there's one issue: if the enemy's dead, I can hit it still and it'll still play a death animation. And even though we went through that entire process of figuring that out in the last video, it was quite long, I found the issue to this, and it's because our on landed event, let me show you. Our on landed event will reset the state, and then it would clear the state to none. So what we're going to check here is if our current state is not equal to if our new state is not equal to our current state, and so the biggest thing is and our current state is not equal to, it's not equal to death. That is probably the biggest thing that we need to make sure we have. If we are dead, we want to stay dead forever. Should not be able to get back up. Now he's dead, then he doesn't take any more damage, doesn't die again. So let's try that with the aerial combat. So let's launch up. Let's just keep launching them up, and then until he dies. If he takes one more, there we go. Now since he's on the floor, yep, he won't play anymore because his state's already dead. Awesome. Now we're gonna start working on that aerial slam, which is the topic of this video. So let's head over to our event graph. Let's clear everything real quick. Thinks he's working. Now we're also going to do the same thing for our state here as well. In fact, if the player is dead, so if we're going to make a branch here, if the player is dead, we're not even going to reset anything at all. So if we're not equal to death, then we should reset. Else, nothing. Okay, now let's see. Let's open up the heavy attack event this time. So what we're gonna do here is check whether or not we are in the air. Now, in order to be able to perform a crasher, we should be launched. That's the only criteria to perform a crasher. If we launch into the air, we can perform a crasher. It's as simple as that. And we actually don't need as much. Since the crasher is a single animation, we can just code it all right here. What we're gonna do first is set the mode to flying, and then once we hit a specific point in our animation, we're gonna set it to falling. And so let me show you what I mean by that. So let's make a play animation montage. Play anim montage. Let's promote this variable. Call this crasher montage. Let's head over, make an animation real quick. There we go, crasher, create am underscore crasher. Make sure root motion is enabled. So let's plug this in real quick. Boom. Now before we do that, I want to set movement mode to flying, and then we play the animation. I think that's right for now. Actually, the last thing we need to do is set can air attack to false. So if we play the crasher, we should not be able to perform any more air attacks. So this marks the end of our air attack if we perform a crasher. And next thing we're gonna do is make a custom event called crash. Just call it crasher. What we're gonna do is set movement mode to falling, and then we're gonna make a timeline, and this one's gonna be crasher underscore timeline. Let's open this up, make a float track, and this one's gonna be quite long or quite fast. We'll make it like 0.1 or 0.15, and we're gonna call this alpha. Spelled that wrong, pretty sure. Oh, there we go. That looks more right. I can't say for certain though. But anyways, as normal, we're gonna set our first to 00, and this is gonna be 0.15 and 1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lerp vector, and then we're gonna on update. We're gonna set after location. We're gonna do a sweep. What we're gonna set to is right here. We're gonna make a variable. It's gonna be vector, so it's gonna be crasher location. Make that a vector. We're gonna set it right here, and literally the location is gonna be get after location. We're gonna subtract, and we're just gonna make the z value some sort of large number. Doesn't even matter. Let's make it like 100, a million. You know, I don't even think that's a million. Pretty sure that's more, but whatever. Just make it a large number so we actually hit the ground. Speaking about the ground, we need to actually do a trace first. So actually, let's do that. So let's make another function called get crasher location. What we're gonna do is do a line trace for objects. Start location is gonna get after location, which we actually have right here. We're gonna cut that, paste that here. This is gonna be our end. Our regular get after location is gonna be our start. Perfect. Object types, world static or world dynamic. If we hit anything, so if we branch. And we're gonna make a break, and then our impact point would be our location. So crasher, impact point, bam. So we're good. Set over here. What we need to do is actually, instead of just sending function here, we're just gonna get crasher location. Or let's rename this to set crasher location. So that way it's better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lerp from our current location to our desired crasher location. Alright, so that should be it. Now let's add our anim montages. Let's open up another anim montage for reference, and then we're also gonna need to make another one. Paste that in right here. We only need the reset state. All these functions we do not need. Maybe a save dodge if you want for now. Actually, I could add a save dodge actually. So let's drop this down to 2. let's add a safe dodge, why not? Right around here. Then we need a weapon. Let's copy this. Open collision. Paste. Right around here. And it's gonna be knockdown. And then our last one is gonna be rotation to target. Copy. Actually, this is our second to last one. We need one more. So let's open up one of our anim notifiers. Let's find it. Let's do launch player. Call it am_crasher. Instead of calling the launch player event when it's called crasher. And then we just need to add that to our animation montage. So let's add that in. Like this one. Replace with crasher. So right around here is when we want to crash. So let's test that. I'm pretty sure it'll work from what I know. Should work. Hold on. The only way to tell is to test it. Forgot something. We do not have a saved heavy attack in our launch. So let's open up our launch animation and our light attack animation. So let's open all of these actually. Let's grab these save heavy attacks. So copy that. And we need to paste this in here somewhere. And we're gonna probably keep it the same spot. Now for our crasher, we actually want to make this blend out, maybe quadratic, 0.3, or just 0.2, because you kind of want to snap into this real fast. Copy, set all the other ones. Paste. Should be about the same place. Now for this particular animation, we should be able to do a crasher, even though the enemy is knocked away. If the player wants to do a crasher, they can feel free to do so. Launch animation. This one here. Right around the same time. So now let's give this a try. Yeah, so it's working. Issue being that we did not clear the timers. Hold on. If we hit the floor, let's set this to walking, and then once if we land onto the ground, let's see if it even gets called. So let's F9 on here. Let's check something. So if I jump, this gets called. Okay. So if I launch and then crash, boom, it gets called. Okay, perfect. So it does get called. What I want to actually do is when it gets called, we should always clear all our timelines. So let's reset timelines. And one timeline we need to add to this is our new launch timeline and our crasher timeline. We need to stop. Stop. Let's copy this, paste that. And stop. We need to stop everything. Okay, now let's give that a try again. Okay, so okay, also another thing is launched. Hold on. If we are on reset. Okay, so the issue here is that we hit the ground, but we never called the reset state yet, but we should have. So let's actually check something, see if this gets called, because if it does, that means we're probably doing something very wrong. No, it doesn't, so that should be correct. Let's search here. Oh, I don't have debugs on, so let me reset that. Okay, so we are frozen here after that. Let's do this one more test. So it does reset everything, but we're still in this weird, odd conundrum. Now let's check our light attack event. Is not falling, is not flying, not. We have not launched. Let's do one quick thing. So in our heavy attack, when we crash, we also want to set that we're no longer launched. So that, I think that's the issue here, is that, yeah, so that's right. Okay, up, down, we can still attack, up, down, still attack, up. Oh no, missed it. Up, down. Now I feel like that's super off. The the crasher is still off a little bit. So let me search for crasher. What I'm gonna do is actually make this around here. Huh. Interesting. Oh, see, so that seems to work. Anything else just doesn't work. But why? What if we disable root motion as well? So hold on, let me disable root motion here on our crasher animation. Where's crasher? Let's disable root motion like we did with all our other animations. Maybe that'll help it. Disable root motion. Up until we say dodge. Feel like that might help. Nope. I feel like something is colliding with it. Hold on. Let's show collision. Show collision. No, nothing's colliding with anything. So let's set the hack and slash. Let's change this a little bit. Set this one to 1 and then set the other one to 0. I don't think that'll do anything, but we'll see. Huh, interesting. Oh, okay, I think I see the issue here. Okay, what we want to do before we even play this is to stop launch. Let's grab our launch timeline and we want to stop it. We want to stop our launch because I think that's interfering with whatever we're trying to do here. Okay, yeah, so yeah, that was why. So the launch animation was conflicting with our crash animation or timeline. So that should fix it now. Yeah, that looks and feel way nicer. I don't think we need the disable motion. Let's delete that. Let's give it one more go. Go up, down, still attack, up, down. Nice, perfect. We did the crasher quite simply. Okay, now the next part is the hit reactions. So let's see if we can get those animations. Up a knockdown. So maybe this part right here. Okay, yeah. Let's create an anim notify. AM underscore enemy knockdown. And we're gonna actually chip away off of this, maybe around 80, so 0.8. And then we want to make sure root motion is enabled. So open animation, root motion enabled. Okay, yeah. Now let's open up our base enemy. Similarly to our knockback, we're gonna do the same thing almost. We're gonna set movement mode to falling, and then we need a new variable. This time is B air knockdown. Now actually we don't. No, we actually do want though. Actually, this one's quite interesting. What we want to do is take advantage of the blend in and blend out, similarly how we did here. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna set the move mode to falling. Is knocked down. We're gonna set that to true, and then we're gonna return a variable called HR air knockdown. Okay, so here we're gonna grab the knockdown. That one. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check if it gets called on landed, because we're gonna need to call the timeline for this so we can crash into the ground. Let's see. Once we get the animation, we should play the animation, and what we should also do is actually call the function here as well. So yeah, we're gonna actually make the timeline similar as the player. Let's grab the player real quick. We're gonna copy all of this. Cover all of this, open up our base enemy. We're going to paste in our event graph somewhere. We're going to do nothing, confirm. Here for crasher location, we're going to simply do the same thing. Functions, crasher location. Head over to our player, copy that function over. This entire thing, copy it, paste that in. Promote this to variable. Event graph, call this function. Click from start, call this crasher online. Launch. Do we even have a launch? Yes, we do have a launch variable. File, we have an error. Oh, so get crasher location, set crasher location. Boom. And then we also, in our get hit reaction, we're going to call that function here. So we're going to call crasher. Now once we're done with the animation, let's see, can we do a play montage? No. So we can't do a play montage. And so we're all landed. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check here, make a branch off the true pin. After we plug in the air knockdown, we're gonna grab our mesh, get our anim instance, and then we're gonna check his montage playing. And the montage is the air knockdown. If it is, so make another branch. The montage finish. Is active, is playing, pause, play, resume, next, stop, blend out. On second thought, let's try something else. So instead of actually having a variable, we actually can delete that variable. We're just gonna make an anim notify. So let's make a custom event. Call it getUp. And we're simply just gonna call this function here, or place animation. So instead of doing this, we can just call getUp. So open up our hit reaction because we deleted a variable. So reconnect those. Okay, now we need an anim montage or anim notify. So here we're gonna need a grab reset state. I'm gonna delete that in a moment. I just need to teleport to that place called getUp. Here, delete reset state and call getUp. Wait, hold on. This is the wrong one. Wrong place, so let's delete this. Crasher. This is the wrong anim notify. My bad. It should be the enemy reset state. There it is. _. And there you go. This should be the right one. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to allow the enemy to blend into the animation instead of snapping to it. So that's why I'm doing this. Otherwise it would be just as simple as just adding the animation right here and it would just snap to it. So enemy or get up. So right around here, the enemy will get up. We drop to 0.1. Okay, now let's see how this looks. No, it doesn't play that montage, which is odd. Get up montage should play. Now let's check something. I want to check if it even gets played. 9. Because if it does, it should. So oddly enough, our animation is not playing. Not sure why, so we're gonna do a print string here and see if it even plays at all. I'm gonna do a 9 for a breakpoint. What I'm suspecting is that it's blending out way too fast, so it doesn't get the time to actually call the anim notify. So all I'm gonna do is set this to 0, and then we're gonna probably drop this right around 40. Hopefully that'll be more than enough time to actually get the animation to play, or the anim montage to get called. Maybe if we set it even longer. Oh no, set it to 0, set it back to 0.25. Hopefully it gets called. Nope, we're not getting any calls. So crasher. Let's drop the speed here to like 0.6. Okay, now that should help. Okay, let's actually plug in the animation as well. Just so in case the... So let's get a random montage. We're gonna play montage, skeleton mesh. We're gonna grab the mesh, put that in. This one's a surefire way to actually get a montage to play. So let's see if it even works. No, does it? Go over to our animation. If I crash, it will be a bummer. Right around here in 30. Try 15. See if it even gets called or even played at all. No, it doesn't even get played. How? That's super odd. What if we try dropping the play right here to like 0.6? Increase this to 1. Same thing, it's just a different way of doing it. Or even have it. Is this even this right animation? Let's see. Grab this. Enemy. Base enemy. Plug this in. Ah, that's right. It wasn't even the right animation. So I'm going to copy this and I'm just going to clear it. Open our dummy enemy, because we should never actually set our variables in there. We should set it in our dummy. So I'm going to do, it's called knockdown. Knockdown air. It's knock back, knock down. Paste that. Boom. Okay, save everything. Now that should get called. Or not. Doesn't even get called. Interesting. This is so weird. This is not getting called. But why? Check the log. Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing. How strange. Drop the blend out. Let's drop the blend out. And blend in. If push comes to shove, I guess our only option would be to actually do that. I can't use a play montage node. Hold on, let's open up our enemy. I really just don't want to use the I like this, but I just don't want to like call it through there. Let me see if this on land even gets called. If it gets called, we might be able to do something about it. Let's get rid of this. Let's It's not working. Let's find this. Delete it all. Force delete. Let's see. Okay, so it does get called. So here, let's see. Once we land onto the ground, what we want to do, have a delay maybe, and then we can delay, and then we can just play the get up. So I want to test this one little bit. I think I found a bit of a solution here, but I want to test if the knockback still works. So let's give it a try. Yep, so the knockback still works. So here's what we're gonna do. First things first, I want to change or move this, the setting, the launch to set the movement mode to flying when we launch inside here. I know it's probably bad, but we gotta do it. What we gotta do, you know what I'm saying? So here in launch, and before we set it to flying, before we move upwards, it makes a lot of sense because that's what we did for our player as well. And that code is pretty much the closest thing to the enemy, or the close to the start of that function anyways. And so if we test that out, I want to check something because our knockdown is apparently returning this ground knockdown animation instead of the one up here, which is right here. So I want to test that again if we are still getting that knockdown animation, and we are, which is very odd because this one should be the one that is being called instead. What I want to check is we are falling, or because we should be in the flying mode. So what I'm going to do is grab a tick, and we're going to print string, and we're going to set this key to 1, and let's grab our get movement mode and plugs in. I want to know what movement mode we are in. Tell it over. So we go from flying to falling and then to walking very quickly. So let's see. Instead of setting it here, we're going to set it at the very end. So we set and on finish, then we set it to walking. Because I'm pretty sure that on landed function will still get called. Let's double check. Just make sure we don't make assumptions here. But yeah, still does. Okay. F9. Now let's check if that still gives us the wrong animation. Okay, it doesn't. It no longer gives the animation. Perfect. So we're on the right track. Now, what I want to do is grab a begin play, and we're going to bind something. So get our mesh and get anim instance. And there's a delegate called on montage blend. So bind event to on montage blending out. What we're going to do is create event, and then we do create matching event. It's going to go all the way down here. We'll call this on montage blending out. Pull this all the way up here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to check. So if we're going to go equal, we're going to check if we're playing our air knockdown. So if we're playing our air knockdown, they want to make a branch. If we're playing our air knockdown and we're blending out of the animation, we want to play the get up animation instead. So we're going to grab the get up animation and paste that in here. So we should not have any issues with this. Let's give it a try. So let's see. So let's try with the regular knockback. We should just get up. No issues there. Try our knockdown. Yep. So there's a bit of issues there, like the blend out. It was kind of trying to blend out into the regular locomotion, and then it goes back in. There could be another delegate here, so let's try it on montage. On montage blend out, on montage ended, bind to on montage started, ended. So I really don't have much options here. The only other way is to actually make that notify again, because earlier we were calling the wrong animation, so that notify didn't even get called. So let's try actually making a notify again. Maybe that might work. So let's make a custom event, call it get up again, and so our knockdown, get a reset state, make sure am underscore get up. Get up. So now that we're playing the right animation, maybe it'll work. Still the chance that it might not, so let's not get our hopes too high up, but let's give it a shot. No harm in doing so. So let's see. Oh, perfect. That works almost too well. Okay, so we can actually use the anim notify now. Okay, perfect. So we can actually screw half of that code that we just made, which is this. Clean all that. Get rid of all the begin play node. And let's just move this all the way down. Now that we have a get up animation, we don't get up function, we can just call get up right here. Same exact thing, it's just more organized. Let's give it a shot. Let's launch, slam, boom, he gets up almost too perfectly. Now if we send him away, gets up pretty good. And he dies. But when he dies, he doesn't drop back to the ground. So let's just set that. So let's set his movement mode when he dies to falling. So on death, so damage from death. Set movement mode to falling. Set movement mode to falling. So now that he should be in the falling mode. Okay. Just keep knocking him up and down. Hopefully we can get him to die in the air. Yep, so he does. And he falls down to the ground. Perfect. So let's check again with our normal. Okay, on that third attack, I think I want to change it a little bit. So to hack and slash enemy, go down into our air attack. I want to like lower this like a lot. As much as I can maybe. Yeah, right around there. As much as I can before the reset state. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better. That's good. Okay, actually all of them need to kind of be revamped a little bit. Around here. This one especially. So what I'm gonna do is launch up, down. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. And he dies. Perfect. So let's check one more time. 3 down, 2 up, crash, up, and he dies. Awesome. So everything seems to be working really well so far. So this is probably gonna mark the end of this video. One thing I want to point out is that we have a lot of things here cluttering it up. I recommend you take some time before the next video to clean it up. We are eventually gonna have to clean up this base enemy because if you take a look, it's quite chaotic and very messy. So we're gonna take some time maybe in the next video to clean up a bit of code. But if you've done that prior to the video, you can probably just skip that entire part, as we do have some things on the agenda for the next video except for optimizing and cleaning up code. But it's all part of the process. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.